Some legends don't come from one town, but from the back roads, where the locals don't stop after dark. In parts of Connecticut, people talk about figures seen near the tree line, watching from places they shouldn't be. Teenagers went looking for answers. Some came back with stories they never fully explained. Today, we're digging into the sightings and the stories of the Connecticut Mellonheads. I'm Kathy.
I'm Chris.
I'm Sean.
And this is Weirder After Dark. I wanted to ask you guys, did you hear about the incident in Plaistow, New Hampshire, and Planet Fitness?
No, I haven't.
No, what's this?
This is my favorite story of the week.
Okay.
So, went to the hairdresser, Tia, shout out, and she informed me about a man that went into the Planet Fitness in Plaistow, walks in the locker room, comes out completely naked, takes a mat, and then proceeds to do yoga poses.
What poses we talking? We doing downward dog?
I'm assuming downward dog,
mountain.
What
are we doing?
Warrior.
Pose.
Everybody's a little bit shocked, and I guess they went over to him and they were like, "Sir, you can't do that here." And straight face looked up at them and said, "I thought this was a judgment-free zone."
Oh my God. That's so good, though.
That's great.
Oh, man. I wish I had the comedic timing of that. Do you think he was sitting on that and
I do wonder where where did the idea come from?
Yeah.
I mean, he has to register for the rest of his life as a sex offender, but I respect the joke.
Worth it. He fully committed.
So worth it.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's, wow, that's brave.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the story...
We should have more naked workout places. Let's be honest, guys.
I don't know about that.
I'm gonna disagree on that.
I've never wanted to see a naked man before this story. Now I'm like, I wish I saw that. That would have been so funny to watch.
If I was there, I'd just start to slow clap.
Yeah.
As the police were taking him out.
Respect.
I want to kind of Google a picture of him, but I'm a little bit afraid to, because I feel like once I actually see what he looks like, I'm gonna have those
just
images
picture him doing yoga all the time.
in my brain.
I think we need to put his arrest picture up with your research pictures.
Let's look.
Go to the Instagram.
The news clipping here says Plaistow, New Hampshire. A Massachusetts man apparently learned the hard way that the judgment-free zone philosophy at Planet Fitness only goes so far.
Clever.
Well done.
Clever. What do you think the police do when they show up? Do they just arrest him naked? Do they make him go put his clothes on and then arrest him? Dragging the naked man to the cruiser?
Bro, you're not getting in my car naked. Go put your clothes on or I'll shoot you.
Does it have a mugshot? Is he naked in the mugshot?
It does not have a mugshot, but it does say that the Haverhill man was arrested without incident and charged with indecent exposure.
Without
disorderly
incident? It sounds
conduct.
like the whole thing was an incident.
I mean, it was an incident, but he went peacefully.
Okay.
So if you gave me 3 guesses, I would have said Haverhill, or Haverhill.
Yeah.
Or Lawrence.
Maybe Lawrence, but probably Haverhill.
Haverhill's closer to...
I would have went Florida man.
That's a Florida man.
That's a Florida man story.
Transplant.
Yeah, it could be.
Haverhill is the New England's Florida.
Okay. Fair enough. Kathy, I am so excited to see how you're going to transition this.
There are no naked men doing yoga poses in gyms in my story.
I'm out.
Yep.
Sorry. But today's story, we are talking about the Mellonheads of Connecticut.
Of course it's in Connecticut.
It's in Connecticut, yep.
Baby, we're back.
Can't stay away. There are parts of Connecticut that don't feel strange until they're quiet. Fairfield County, Connecticut is made up of a variety of towns, but the most famous for being the home to the Mellonheads are Trumbull, Shelton, Milford, and Monroe. Here, they have very specific roads known by the locals as Mellonheads Road. During the day, they look like the ordinary neighborhood lined with trees, old houses set back from the pavement, stretches of woods that you just breeze by in the light of the day. But at night, when the traffic slows down and the light disappears before you have a chance to realize it, those same safe, familiar places start to feel a little different. The woods feel deeper, the dark cocoons you, and suddenly you're very aware of just how far away you are from anything and anyone. Most stories talk about these roads where cars are full of passengers making their way home from one side of town to the other, deciding to cut a few minutes off the trip in hopes of getting their destination faster. Or local teenagers daring each other to try and get a good scare, or teenage boys with freshly printed licenses bringing their girlfriends on a drive as they tell them the rumors of the elusive Mellonheads in hopes to scaring them enough just to get them to sit a little closer in the front seat.
Did that happen to any of us? I never once took one of my girls like, do you want to go somewhere scary? Like, that's serial killers. No. Like, Chris, no.
It's not a good pickup line.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to scare you.
Yeah. Like, dating is hard. And that's how you're going to lead?
Yeah, well, if they make them feel safe, isn't that like the whole, like,
You're the woman
70s?
here. I don't know. Is
I
that
can
a
make you feel unsafe, so I make you feel safe.
Well, you're not making me feel unsafe by your actions. You're just bringing me into a dangerous situation.
I feel like this is a Donald Trump move. I'm going to blow something up so I can fix it and look like a hero. Like, what are we doing here?
But locals tell visitors and the younger generations to not pull over there after dark. Not because they have high crime rates or the road is prone to accidents. When you ask them why, they hesitate, awkwardly laugh, or shuffle in their stance. But then slowly they start to talk in a voice so low it raises the hair on your arms. And that is when they tell you about the Mellonheads.
You piqued my interest. I want to know what a melon head is really
I've
bad.
got so many questions.
I'm just picturing like a guy with a misshapen head.
I personally think Mellonheads kind of sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a candy that may be a branch off of Airheads or some wannabe posing grunge band desperately trying to bring the 90s back.
Melonhead? All right.
The name makes this lore feel like something simply made
Smashing
up.
Pumpkins, Melonhead. You know, it's in the
There's a
ballpark.
connection there.
We're doing a blind melon tribute band. We're calling it Melonhead.
Yeah, okay. I see it.
When people tell their stories, it's not over the top. They choose their words carefully. They seem reluctant to share. And honestly, they seem a little embarrassed. So for me, that makes me have to ask, what is or what did go on there? And are Mellonheads real? Some say that they are like people, but their heads are too large for their bodies in a dramatic way. It looks like gravity is pulling on them, stretching their heads back into a balloon-like formation.
Ugh.
Their faces look stretched, almost too small for their heads. The weight of it seeming to distort their already fragile bodies. Their eyes have a bulging look to them with a bright red color to them.
Ugh, you're going to make me vomit. Stop. I don't like this.
Their skin is pale with a yellowing tint, making them appear even smaller. And the image leaves a nagging question in your mind. How does something that looks so starved and stunted manage to hold itself upright at all?
Whoa.
Now, I have some pictures.
Guys, is my head proportionate to my body? Like, I gotta know.
I've seen worse.
All right. I'll take that.
This is one image.
Oh, man, that looks like
This is a drawing.
that looks like an alien.
That's a little strange, right?
It does look like sort
The
of an
gray
alien.
aliens, yeah.
Yeah. So then we have that one.
And again, we'll make sure we put these on our Instagram. Go ahead
They
and check
will be
that out.
for
Oh
sure.
my God,
Oh, no.
that's terrifying.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Take that picture away.
I don't know if this is a real picture or not.
Why does that picture look more shocked to see me than I am of it?
Yeah, it does. It looks like a small child with a very large head, wide eyes, and
There's going to be some genetic truth behind this image, isn't there? It's going to
There is.
make me
Yeah.
feel really bad for saying what I just said.
Yeah. Well, that's okay.
You know.
He looks so much smarter than me.
Well, he's
way
got a
more
big
brain power.
Look at how big his brain is.
We're going to hell.
We are for sure.
So these are just deformed looking humans. These are
That's one of the
creatures,
theories.
like-
creatures. There could potentially be like some inbreeding maybe happening.
But nobody from town knows who they are.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that makes it weirder.
Yeah.
It'd be like just some deformed people walking around. So
Yeah,
that's Frank. He lives over there. And he's got a weird head.
These roads that these sightings supposedly happen on, I did take some images and we'll post those on the socials. You'll be able to see the towns are built up, but for the most part, like the area that the roads are on, it's very heavily wooded.
Okay.
There's one road that is more populated today, but when the story took place, it was during the 80s, so the developments probably hadn't gone in to build up the neighborhoods and stuff. So I'm going to start with one story that came in, offered to us by one of our listeners, and his name is Noah.
Noah.
So
Thanks,
shout out to
Noah.
Noah. So this takes place in Shelton. And this seems to have started like most teenage adventures start, a group of kids sitting in the school cafeteria trying to figure out what their weekend plans were going to be. It was 1987, and during this time period, the satanic panic was in full swing, ghost stories, spooky places. It was all the rage. and they got talking about Sawmill City Road, known for being home to one of the Mellonheads. They had driven down it at night, but none of them had ever actually walked along it or gone into the woods after the sun had gone down. Now, Noah claims to have been kind of familiar with the area, fishing in the brooks that ran through the woods. But again, not at night. So, as teenagers do, they put a half-assed plan together to get out there later that night. Noah and his friend Drew were the first to arrive, and then Topher and his girlfriend Ray.
Topher?
Topher.
Fucking love that.
Ray, having just moved to California, had never heard of Mellonheads. So, to set the scene, Drew shared a story of some upperclassmen that he had heard from his older brother. One night, a couple had gone out, and while driving down Sawmill City Road, they got a flat. They attempted to change the tire, but it was secured on, and with no cell phones back then, they were a bit at a loss. When suddenly the sound of struggling echoes began to fill the dark and empty space around them. As they spun around, a melonhead came howling out of the dark. It had bulging red-rimmed eyes that rolled around in its enormous swollen head. The creature began to grab at them, and quickly the teenage boy swung the tire iron to beat the creature off. They dashed into the car and sped away, leaving only sparks from the tire rim behind them. The two teenagers went straight to the police station, who of course did not believe them, but decided due to the tire iron that had some kind of gory substance or something on it, decided that once they gave the teenagers a good talking to and dropped them off at home, they would go check out the scene. But as you can guess, there was nothing there for them to find.
So a teenager comes in, has a bunch of blood and skin on his tire iron. They're like, we're going to give you a good talking to and drop you off to your parents. You just committed murder.
Well,
yeah, that's fair.
They didn't say blood or skin. They said it was something gory.
Gory,
So,
okay.
Yeah, something gory.
That makes it okay.
Yeah.
And you also got to think this is a story coming
In the
through the
80s.
grapevine in the
Yeah.
80s from an upperclassman, spooky nonetheless.
Yes. As Drew's story came to an end, the four teenagers stood quiet on the side of the road, their eyes now scanning the tree lines, looking for something, or better yet, hoping not to see something lurking in the shadows. Before the group could make a decision, headlights appeared, and in the car came Evan, Trish, Nancy, and Tracy. The four joined the group, but perhaps because they had smoked a little bit of the Mary Jane, they had a hard time keeping it serious.
Weed?
Yeah.
They did the weed?
They did the weed.
And they're admitting it in the story?
And they're admitting it in the story.
Wow.
Rebels. Well, because these four were high, they really couldn't take the whole melonhead hunting seriously. And they were loud and they were laughing and singing and making jokes.
See, I feel like Mihai would have the exact opposite. I'd be like, there's melonheads out there?
Yeah.
Where are they? I can see them. I can see them. And I'd be freaking out.
Yeah,
I'm taking this way too seriously right now.
I don't like dark woods to begin with, and now I'm all high and paranoid. I'd be like, I'm staying here. Well, the group trudged forward, and Noah, Topher, and Ray, they fell back, putting some space between them and the loud banter. Noah swept his flashlight along the tree line when suddenly, from up ahead, he heard the screams. This was it. They found a melonhead. No, they didn't. The four stoners got caught up in some barbed wire and were just stuck. So
that sounds right.
At this point, I'm turning around, getting my car, and just going home.
Damn stoners and their barbed wire.
So frustrated with this whole night, Noah turned back to get the first aid kit out of the car, hoping now to just get the whole night over with. About halfway back, he heard it, rustling in the brush. He turned to look. The ground cover was definitely moving. Was it an animal making that sound? He didn't recognize it. Shivers went down his spine. The hairs on his neck stood up. He froze, lifted his flashlight towards the noise. Then, out of the brush, it moved upright and began to climb up the pine tree.
Ooh.
His mind couldn't make sense of what he was seeing. The light made the creature freeze and stare back at Noah. Its skin was white, pale, almost translucent. Large, bulging eyes set in an oversized head. It was lumpy and not perfectly round, almost like the shape of a potato, with human-like arms and legs. It was small and...
Mr. Potato Head?
Mr. Potato Head on meth.
Ever since Toy Story came out, things haven't going well. Mr. Potato Head just took a bad turn. He's a Connecticut native.
It was small in stature, only a few feet tall, with a pointed tail. Noah grabbed his Polaroid camera and frantically tried to take a picture. With a flash of the camera, the creature made a rasping sound, and Noah stumbled and was smashed into Evan, who came barreling down the path. Years later, Noah asked Evan about that night. Had he seen anything? The picture taken that night showed nothing. There was no proof. The story sounded crazy, and when asked, Evan asked Noah to elaborate on what he had seen, but he was reluctant to share, and the two never spoke of it again.
I always hate when stories end that way. Like, if you see something, I'm not keeping it to myself. I'm telling everyone. I don't care if I'm crazy. I'm telling everyone. You'd know about it.
Yeah.
I'm sending mass text messages out. Like, I can't keep that shit to myself. I'd be posting it on Reddit. Yeah.
Well, this happened during the 80s. No Reddit.
So
Like
telling
telephone
everyone.
line, you're like calling on your kitchen phone with a long cord.
Yeah. I'm handing out flyers at the local supermarket.
Going to the Xerox
Yeah.
machine.
I'm going to the public library.
faxes.
Oh my God, faxes. Yes.
So while searching online, I only found some quick summaries of some other stories with like no real names of who these people were.
So this is kind of a local legend and people keep talking about it, but there's no real firsthand accounts or, all right.
Now, I do want to add in, we got to actually talk to Noah a little bit too. So this wasn't just even a listener story submitted via an email. Like, we got on a phone call, had like a good conversation with him, and he 100%, I have no doubt based on our convo, he thinks this is legit.
I did see on Reddit, there are people who live in this area where they say, I've lived here for 40 something years. I've never heard of this. And other people who are like, I grew up with this. I knew driving down those roads at night, like, you know, there were always those stories. But then they always would wrap it up and be like, but I never actually saw anything. Like, I didn't see anything. It was just always like the story was told. Well, another story I found took place also in the 80s. This time, it was a group of girls after a high school football game. They went for a ride and ended up on Velvet Street in Trumbull. The girls decided, all having heard the stories of the creatures that live in the woods, that they would go in search of a melonhead. They all grew up hearing the stories, but now finding themselves older and more mature, these stories didn't scare them anymore. So they did what most teenagers do, and they dared each other to go wander the paths at night. Leaving the car behind, the group of teenage girls marched forward. They weren't backing down. The only sound was the occasional twig snapping under their feet. The trees towered over them. The darkness was everywhere. When suddenly, they heard a noise. The door to the car, it slammed shut. The engine roared to life.
Ooh.
The headlights aimed right at them, barreling full speed. The car came crashing through the woods right at them. As the girls jumped, they all say behind the wheel of the car were children? No, not children. They looked different. Their heads were too large, their eyes too big. They had no hair. Their clothes were ragged. But if they weren't children, who or what? The car was never found, and the local teens say the Mellonheads are still driving it around.
I love this story.
Wow.
If they didn't almost die, this is really comical.
I don't buy this for 1 second. There is no way in hell a group of girls, my group of girls that I went to high school with, no way were we going to be like, we're going to go deep into the woods and do that.
Yeah.
I think they totaled the car.
Maybe I'm a group of girls because I'd never do that. Like, I was literally thinking, I was like, I would never be like, yo, boys, want to go look for Mellonheads?
Yeah, have fun with that.
I'm good. Yeah, let me know how that goes.
Send me a text later. Cool.
Also, just the idea of like a bunch of babies in the car. Like, they're just a bunch of little
Are those babies?
Yeah.
You know, when we get into some of the theories, it just seems like they know how to drive a car. Like, like they knew to turn the key and to like press the pedal and...
Oh, it's so good. Oh, the imagery is so good. Explain that to the police. Okay, so there were like 6 babies and they stole the car.
Huge heads, no hair, and they're all raggedy clothes. I don't know where my car is, though.
Yeah. I'm putting that on the insurance report.
You know how like insurance has like codes for like instances? Is there a code for like 6 babies stole a car?
I am sure there is.
If you're in the insurance business and you know the answer to this, please share. Well, the thing about the Mellonheads is that most people in the area have heard about them, but, you know, most of them have never seen them. The stories are told as a fun way to scare kids, pull pranks on people. So I wonder, where did the legend of the Mellonheads come from? There was one story, and it was about a man. We'll call him Jim because he didn't have a name in the story online. He was driving along Zion Hill Road in Milford. As he's cruising along, listening to some music, blasting through his speakers, the car suddenly bumps. Almost like he hit something. The panic and horror rushes over him. He didn't see anything, but it definitely felt like something. He pulls over. As he sits there, he rolls his window down, peers out. Nothing. Don't be a fool, he tells himself. There's nothing out there. He knows the story of the Mellonheads. I mean, come on. He's a grown man. He's not a child. He shouldn't be scared. These stories are meant to just scare kids. Knowing this, he says, I have to go check. He grabs the flashlight from his glove box and steps out of his car. He sweeps the light from side to side. Nothing. But wait, what was that? A noise coming from the other side of his car. He circles the car. And then he sees it out of the corner of his eye. Something tall, pale, skinny. But wait, the head. No. He thinks that can't be right. The head's way too big. It can't be. He moves to the side of the car, but he doesn't see anything. He checks the front of his car. Nothing's there. The front end of the car is fine. It's untouched. Okay, he says. He says it out loud to break the silence that is engulfing him now. He gets back in the car. He continues his ride, the music off, staring straight ahead. By the time he gets home, he convinces himself that it must have been a rock, something in the road, nothing more, until he gets out of the car and walks back around to the back of the car and sees it. 2 greasy-looking handprints, as if someone or something very dirty had been peeking through the window.
Oh, don't like that.
After that day, Jim took the long route home, avoiding Zion Hill after the sun went down.
So this is the most believable one for me so far.
Good job, Jim.
He sees something, hears something, not quite sure. The only real evidence is some handprints.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that would freak me the fuck out.
And I've done that.
Yeah?
I've done a gym. I've been like, I'm freaked out, and I'm an adult. I'm a man. I'm going to go check it out.
I'm going to do it.
I don't want to.
Is that what happens every time I hear a noise and I make you go downstairs at night?
Sometimes that happens when I have to pee in the middle of the night. There's no lights on. It's like, come on, Chris, you're a man. Get up. I know you're scared of the dark, but you're a man now. Let's go.
Those are some of the stories that I found that were kind of the ones that popped out at me. Now, there's a few theories out there that we're going to discuss. The first, in my opinion, is the least likely. What do they look like? They look like aliens, right? So there's the theory that maybe they're aliens that came to Earth and decided to stay and hang out. I mean, the odd-shaped head, the big bulging eyes, it does sound like the description of a typical alien. But this just doesn't seem right. I get the connection, but I don't know. It doesn't feel right to me.
Based off the photos, I agree. It looks like a gray alien, big head, misshaped eyes. Yeah. It hits. It fits.
It does.
But the whole, they just came here and they're like, these are my woods now. This is sick. I love hanging out here.
I'm going to steal this car.
Yeah, I'm going to hijack cars. Yeah.
I figured out interstellar travel so I could hang out in the woods.
Yeah, it sort of reminds me of when they try to say the reason why nobody sees a Bigfoot is because he's actually extraterrestrial and he's jumping through portals.
Yeah.
See, I believe that one. But
The second theory is that in the woods of Connecticut, there was once a family that had been accused of witchcraft. The villagers banished the family to live in the outskirts, where they survived for decades by inbreeding. The family is rumored to have survived off eating off the land and small children. This version of the legend says that they were even cannibals and thought to be responsible when teenage kids disappeared. Were there witches? I mean, who knows? But maybe at some point in time, a family lived isolated in extreme poverty and inbreeding led to visible physical differences over time. And when seen by the locals, the physical characteristics were just too noticeable to ignore. Did they attack and kidnap teenagers and eat them for supper? I don't think so.
There actually are a couple inbred families that do exist.
Yep.
And I've watched a couple documentaries on them, and they are a little intellectually challenged, and they do have some deformities and stuff. And
when you don't diversify the gene pool for generations, it starts to create maladaptive genes, and you have some physical and mental problems.
And I will say that my significant other did hike the Appalachian Trail, and she did say there were numerous tales and stories and legends of inbred people or something like that inside the woods that people would be scared of as they were doing their hike through the AT.
I did see some stuff about that online.
Yeah.
Oh, did she hear any monkeys?
I did ask about the monkeys based off of the future episode you're referring to. And she heard nothing.
Liar.
And the last thing I want to say on the inbreeding thing is, have you all seen that horror movie Wrong Turn?
No.
It's takes place in Appalachia. They're going camping, driving down the woods, take a wrong turn, end up in this inbred family, and the 3 inbred murderer brothers just absolutely just murder a bunch of villages and kidnap children and stuff. Fucks me to say.
No, don't want to watch that one.
Is that what is happening here? I mean, I don't think so.
If this was happening, you would think DHHS would be involved.
But if they're so rural,
so out in the woods,
and it's who's going out there to be knock knock? How many people are living in your house? They don't have jobs. They're getting water from the reservoir or a lake or streams. They're not going out into public places. So
And they have a car now. They could be moving.
That's right.
Yeah. So-
yeah, the car that just goes on and on, no need for gas or oil changes.
Or it's their home.
Yeah. I mean, Christine had people living in them.
That's right.
So-
That's right.
The last theory that I'm going to talk about is Fairfield Hills Hospital, which is now shut down. But the story goes that the hospital housed those with mental and physical health problems. As we know, and we're not going down the long and sad, torrid story of hospitals like these, because we all know the treatment of these patients were far below the minimum standards that was expected for that time.
Chris, there's a sad story and Kathy's skipping
Yeah,
it.
I know. We're acknowledging that it's there, but we're moving on.
That's not your MO. What are we doing?
Welcome back
Hold
to
on, I'll get there.
Saturday After Dark with Kathy.
For us to hear that a group of patients were perhaps experimented on, abused, it's not that far-fetched, right? We know that that actually had happened. That's why I think this is probably where the story likely came from, because there is a specific birth defect called hydrocephalus. Hydrocephalus is a condition in which cerebral spinal fluid, or CSF, builds up within and or around the brain, which can cause pressure to increase in the skull. Some of the symptoms and the signs of this includes enlarged head, uncontrollable eye movement, failure to thrive, difficulties eating, and having a high, shrill-pitched cry.
That hits all the boxes.
Yeah. Ooh.
Exactly. These descriptions sound very familiar from what we have heard in our stories. Now, the theory suggests that these patients either escaped to live in the woods, or the nurses, in a fit of anger, opened the doors, pushing the patients out to what they expected would be their ending doom. It just depends on who you ask. Could the patients' stories be true, and they're now still living out in the woods, keeping to themselves, inbreeding over time? Maybe.
Were you able to find any evidence that the hospital existed?
The hospital does exist. It is known for being extremely haunted, and it was shut down. Also, 1 in 777 children can be born with this genetic.
Oh, wow. That's common.
It's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
They can have procedures. They can put stents in. There's a bunch of side effects and things like that, but it also can develop later in life. If it's treated, you can go on to live very normal life, but if it goes untreated, you're going to be malnutritioned. It's going to be a very difficult life, probably ending in death.
So this seems very plausible then.
This just got real. The symptoms make it difficult to swallow food. You're malnutritioned. You're living outside. You're not going to develop like a normal adult would. This is a little too spot on.
But maybe they're not still out there.
I think that's my take on this, is there some truth about the hospital? Absolutely. The hospital is real. Would somebody born with this defect during the early 40s, 50s, 60s be placed in a facility like that?
Absolutely.
Maybe we heard about the
right?
Fenald school.
Yeah, we know that. Could there be experiments? Absolutely. Would they be treated poorly? Absolutely.
Do they care if they escape and run away?
Probably
Nope.
not, right? They're not keeping records. We know this. So that just in itself, could all of that be real? Could be. And is that where the legend stemmed off of? And now you have these people who have escaped the hospital. They're living in the woods. Teenagers go missing. Teenagers are scaring other teenagers. The story just kind of
the story
takes
just
on a
got
life of its own.
really sad. People that were in the hospital that got kicked out, or the hospital shut down. Now they're trying to eke out
I
a
don't want
living
it
in
to
the
be
woods.
sad, Chris.
And teenagers are laughing at them. It's got sad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I didn't mean for this to turn into a sad episode.
So it sounds like maybe less cryptid, maybe less alien, and maybe just truthful incident that occurred and
just legend
happened
just
one or
grew
two
from it.
times and turned into a legend.
It's like going into a haunted house. Even if you're someone who says ghosts aren't real, you go in thinking, I'm going to see a ghost. I'm going to have something scary happen. Most likely something scary is going to happen. And if all of a sudden you run scared, you're with a group of your friends and you're 16, 17 years old in the woods, are you just going to say, I just got scared and ran away? Or are you going to be like, I saw it.
Yeah.
That's why I ran.
Well, crazy cool story, Kathy. And I love that this one kind of leaves us a little bit on a cliffhanger. Normally, I feel like we leave most of these and I was like, all right, fake, moving on, next story. Yeah. But there's some plausibility here.
And what's interesting, there are similar stories in Michigan and Ohio.
Ooh.
Oh, interesting.
But, it wasn't New England, so I didn't go too far. But very similar stories.
Well, maybe this is a good time for a quick plug. Gang, if you are enjoying this story, since there is a little bit more information out there than maybe we are able to share here in this episode, we are going to start a series called Case Files, where every Friday for the next couple weeks, we'll at least do it for 1 or 2 weeks. We're going to go ahead and drop some more information related to the Mellonheads and keep this story alive, because we don't know what's real and what's not, and we want to go a little deeper, even if it takes us outside of New England.
Mm-hmm.
See, I like this idea because we'll finish a story and then one of the listeners on Reddit will say, hey, this is other angles. Like, I didn't even know. I didn't even hear that.
Yeah.
That's fascinating, right?
Yeah. So if you're interested in getting some more details, learning a little bit more about the Mellonheads on Friday, go to our Reddit page at Weirder After Dark, and we're going to be sharing a little bit more context, a little bit more detail on some of these side stories so we can continue this conversation going. And we'll pick up one of our future episodes. We'll check back in on the case file. We'll share some of your thoughts, some of your comments in an upcoming episode. So check that out, and we're excited about this.
Yeah.
Kathy, cool story.
Thank you.
Mellonheads. We've been talking about Mellonheads for a while, about doing this story. So glad that we finally got around to it. And I think you did a really great job with it.
Thanks.
Yeah, this story sounds, just the name sounds so ridiculous, but now I'm thinking it's very possible.
Yeah.
Could be some truth.
Well, gang, we hope that you enjoyed Kathy's episode on the Mellonheads today as well. And if you did, make sure you head over to our Instagram, where we will be going ahead and posting some images that are going to support Kathy's story. But it's not just Instagram. We are out there building what? Community. And that means that you can come hang out, talk to Kathy, Chris, myself, and other listeners who are enjoying these episodes just like you. And you can do that not just on Instagram, but also on Reddit and Facebook. Again, that is at Weirder After Dark. And know that we are always on the lookout for your weird New England stories. Have 6 children stolen your car and drove it off into the woods and you never saw it again? Because if so, we want to hear that story.
Yeah, we definitely want to hear that
We
one.
definitely want to hear that one.
In fact, we're having you on for a 2-hour podcast.
We're going to deep dive. Have you ever been in Connecticut? Have you experienced a Mellonhead? Have you had a story? Have you seen anything? And if you have, send your stories to thegang@weirderafterdark.com.
Not if you've just been to Connecticut, but if you have a weird story.
No, if you've ever been. Anyone that's
that.
just been to
Have you
Connecticut.
been to Connecticut?
That's every resident in Connecticut.
Send your stories. And lastly, if you are liking this shit, no. If you are absolutely in love with this shit, the best thing that you can do is go ahead and leave a 5-star review wherever you are listening. And you can drop a comment on that too and say, Kathy, wow, Mellonheads. I don't know. Smashing Pumpkins? Is it a 90s rock band? Let's create it. Kathy can play drums. Chris, I love your commentary. You are such a geneticist and we're so happy to have you here. Or Sean, what the fuck? Stop talking. Whatever you want to do, go ahead, leave that. It's the best thing you can do to help support us along our journey. And remember, it always gets a little weirder after dark.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.